organization. Have you met with them?
Yeah, so I've met with them. They got Micah, former Iowa DB, so they seem like an awesome organization. That's up there on my list. And I've met with them. I met with them down in Mobile at the Senior Bowl, as well as this week.
Is it formal or informal?
Informal this past week. So.
I once had a conversation with Christian McCaffrey about overcoming or how he processes stereotypes. Obviously, there are more black running backs than white running backs. What is your approach? How open are you to thinking about it, discussing it? Is it important to you that obviously there are not a lot of white quarterbacks?
I'm just going out there and I'm playing football. Obviously, I look different. I don't play different. You know what I mean? I'm obviously one of one, but at the same time, it doesn't really affect me. And sometimes like that earlier question, teams will see me out there and they'll throw the ball towards my way. Absolutely, let's go. Throw me the ball. So I think it works out in my advantage. It's a great opportunity. So yeah.
Speaking of Chris McCaffrey, George, have you met with the 49ers?
Yeah. So that was one of my formals.
What did they, DB-wise, are they thinking safety, cornerback, or how they view you?
Corner, but also being able to play the nickel position, wherever they really needed me at. But yeah, so like I said, most teams have been saying corner. So
when you watch the 49ers defense, what are your takeaways?
I think they're very fundamentally sound defense, and especially coming from Iowa, that's how we made our money is playing smart and physical, defense, and I think, the 49ers are that.
I know you've tested extremely well in numerous athletic testing categories. What is your goal for the 40? What's your end goal?
4.38. Hopefully I can get faster than that, but that's my. If I run 4.38, I'll come away happy. I love it. Honestly, I go anywhere. I have really no, where I want to go. It doesn't really matter to me. So.
Have you met with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at all this week?
I have not. No.
Iowa low-key is kind of becoming a DBU. A lot of guys in the league. Amani Hooker is the one, like I see him retweeting a lot of your stuff. Do you have a relationship with him? And so have you spoken to him?
Yeah, so when I came in my freshman year in 2018, he was one of the guys that, kind of took me underneath his wing, showed me the way, how to be a college athlete and watch film so he was a great mentor. And that's the best thing about Iowa football is there's guys out there willing to help you and want to see you succeed.
You mentioned the nickel position, bouncing inside. How are you as far as understanding your in space, where your help is, and those type of things?
Yeah, I got my first exposure was in 2019 at Iowa. On third downs, dime and nickel package. But it grew to 2020, a little bit of 2021, but it just takes reps. I think that's probably the hardest position in the NFL is playing in the nickel, going against Tyreek Hill and some dudes. So you got to be ready to roll and you got to have some speed, and I think I have that. So
you mentioned the stereotypes. White DB. Does that you play with? Does it give you a chip?
Yeah, it's I was a 2-star recruit coming out of high school. I was originally committed to North Dakota State. I had no Power 5 offers. It's always been me against the world. You know what I mean? And that's I wake up every morning and I remind myself people don't want you here, and I'm going to go out and prove them. So.
What are some corners that you have heard that you think are pretty good comps or corners that you've studied because you think you can borrow some of their attributes?
Yeah, I'm a Jets fan. I'm from Iowa, weird, but I enjoyed watching Darrelle Revis. I think I'd watch some film on him, some one-on-ones and stuff, and I think he was a great corner, and I'd like to become that someday, and I like to try and style my game after him a little bit. Yeah.
Have they ever said that at Iowa? I like it.
Yeah, no, they haven't, but yeah.
You had to go with, you had a lot of adversity early in your career, especially. Mm-hmm. How did you overcome that, and how did that make you mentally tougher?
Yeah, went through my freshman year, started 5 games, and that 5th game, I was still young, and I struggled and ended up getting pulled, and my dad sat me down after the Purdue game 2018. I'd given up a couple touchdowns, and he said, you can make this why you became a great DB at Iowa, or on the flip side, this is why you didn't pan out at Iowa, and that was extra fuel for the fire. I woke up every day not wanting that to happen ever again, and obviously I didn't want that to happen, but I'm grateful that it happened, because it kind of made me grow up fast and really buy into get 1% better each and every day, find something you can work on, so you're not getting complacent, and you're always improving.
Riley, you mentioned earlier about how scouts and colleges look favorably upon you because of track background, right? And you were a state champion in hurdles. How does that translate to how you play defensively?
Yeah, I think as a hurdler, you have to be explosive, and you have to have great hips. Same thing with DB. So that really helped me, especially going to Iowa. Just already having that flexibility, hip movement, and explosive qualities. Thank you.
Going back to another former teammate of yours, can you just talk about what you learned playing alongside Dane Belton?
Yeah, Dane's a great dude. 20 years down the line, if I ever needed something, he would be right there. One of those guys, and he played majority in the slot, and just one of those guys that you can count on. Rarely ever made mistakes, and did his job. Great teammate, like I said, and one of the things that I think he helped me on. He's a year younger than me, but different perspective on the inside playing the nickel. When I get in there and stuff. So
you played him at all during this pre-draft process?
Yeah, I asked him how his combine was last year, what to expect, those type of questions.
You played against a lot of guys in the Big Ten. Who on offense would you be a fan of watching playing? I mean, just for their toughness and what you win against.
Like most impressive player, I'd say.
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison Jr., Ohio State. Very impressive, explosive, lengthy. So yeah, I'd probably say him.
Hey Riley, so Will Levis made some headlines during the season. He likes putting mayonnaise in his coffee. Do you have any interesting
I saw that. So I've talked to Will a couple times, but yeah, that's the first time I've ever heard of that, mayonnaise in coffee. I got no weird quirks like that. I'm pretty normal for the most part. So yeah, that's crazy. But
Riley, do you think it's interesting, that out of your recruiting class in 2018, 3 DBs are here, including Juju. What does that say about you guys, especially you and Kayvon, who are 2-star recruits?
Yeah, I think the University of Iowa does a great job of developing guys. We're not getting 5 stars and 4 stars, so you got to get guys that are willing to work every day and come in and grow as players and grow as men. And I think that's a testament to Coach Parker. And that defensive staff. So,
what were your battles like with Charlie Jones in practice?
They were chippy. I'd poke the bear, and he gets irritated easily, so he was fun to kind of mess around with. But I got to talk to him yesterday for the first time in a while, so it was good seeing him.
Riley.